This is Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. It's the biggest and busiest hospital for children in Britain. Coming up, 15-year-old Shaun fights for his life.
I don't think I can cry anymore. It's just like being wrung out.
It's fishbone trouble for 5-year-old Faria.
And say ah.
And the hospital's dentistry team release 4-year-old Saffron's restricted tongue. Four days ago, Shaun Malone was a vibrant 15-year-old, but a bout of sinusitis has taken an unexpected turn for the worst, with devastating consequences. Now, he's fighting for his life in the hospital's intensive care unit.
It's been really hard seeing him in hospital flat on his back, you know, and not knowing. That's been hardest, not knowing whether or not we're going to get Shaun back.
Sinusitis is an inflammation of the hollow cavities in the skull that open into the nose. But the doctor in charge of intensive care this evening, Kay Hawkins, says Shaun's case is very unusual.
Most people will know about sinusitis. A lot of people will have probably suffered from it from time to time. But he's got a very rare complication of that, with the infection backtracking to the back of the brain. When any child's on intensive care, there is a risk of dying.
Yesterday, Shaun had emergency brain surgery to remove infected fluid from inside his head. This evening, ENT surgeon Andrew Zarod has been called in to perform another emergency operation. This time to clear infection from Shaun's sinuses to stop it from spreading to his brain again.
Injecting a small amount of saline and then aspirating it. Also reveals a blood-stained infected discharge. Ready to start drilling. Going through to the side. We're going to insert a drain to allow any residual infection to make its way out.
The surgeons have done all they can to clear out the infection.
That's fine. Good.
Now it's up to the intensive care team to find the right drugs to stave off further infection and keep Shaun alive.
We'll hopefully get a clearer picture in the next 24 to 48 hours. You've seen how quickly children can become poorly, but thankfully the vast majority of them get better quickly too, and obviously that's what we hope for Shaun.
Shaun will continue to receive one-on-one care around the clock. While his life hangs in the balance, all his family can do is hope and pray. In the hospital's accident and emergency department, 5-year-old Faria's just arrived with her mum after a traumatic tea time.
I was eating fish for my tea. The fish bone stuck in my throat.
She crying and panic. She said the bone is still in there.
Hello, is it Faria?
Faria's mum is terrified that she'll choke on the fishbone, so they're seen immediately by Dr. ALISTAIR Hayes.
Can we have a look in your throat? Will that be all right? And say ah.
Ah.
That's good. And I think I can just see something on the back of the pharynx. All right, Mum. So that looks to be quite a long way back. The problem with fish bones is they sometimes just sort of compact on the back of the pharynx or just at the top of the esophagus. Okay, and that's just got the little sharp edges, and they just get stuck in there. At the moment, she's breathing very well. Her sacs are all fine, so I'm not too concerned about the airway at the moment. But we'll try and get this sorted out as soon as possible for you. When people have things stuck in their throat or swallow things, then we obviously get a little bit more concerned because of its proximity to sort of the airways, and that's why we want to get on with this pretty quickly to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. Can you open that mouth nice and wide for us? There we go. That's lovely.
A very cooperative Faria allows Dr. Hayes an attempt to remove the fishbone.
You're doing really well.
But it's nowhere to be seen.
We can't see anything at the back of the throat. There's a little bit of blood around there, so I think there has been some trauma. So either that's just slipped down the throat and she's swallowed it, or it's just been dislodged a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we'll have some x-rays and just make sure we're not missing anything.
It's off to x-ray to try and solve the mystery.
Turn your feet that way. Can you keep still like that for me? OK, you can move now, Mummy. She's done really well there. Thank you very much.
The x-rays are back And Dr. Hayes has some great news.
So we've had a look at the X-ray and we can't see any bone on the soft tissue view. All right, so that's all really good news. It's quite common for kids to swallow things when we're trying to get out the back of the throat, and it'll just pass through the system as normal. Okay, it is scratched, so it will feel sore. Hopefully after 4 or 5 days it'll all heal and she should be back to normal.
Look at, she's just smiling.
I want to go home.
I feel relief, but I should get better.
"15-year-old Shaun's been in the hospital's intensive care unit for a week now. He's had 2 operations to try to stop an infection spreading through his brain. It's been an agonising time for his parents.
It's like being put through an emotional ringer. That's the only way I can put it. You think, you know, what else can happen? And I don't think I can cry anymore. It's just like being wrung out.
Dr. Peter Mark Fortune has spent 8 years in charge of the intensive care team, the largest of its kind in the UK.
Hi, your dad? Hi, I'm Peter Mark. I'm the consultant on duty this week.
This morning, there are signs that Shaun may be slowly waking up and improving at last.
I think looking at the overall picture, we should think about taking him off the ventilator, which will be more comfortable for him. But we'll go for it and we'll see how we do.
OK,
All right.
All right, thank you.
OK.
Since arriving in hospital, Shaun's relied on a breathing tube to keep him alive. Now he may be able to breathe on his own for the first time.
Just once in a while, we find that we have to put a tube back down again afterwards. And so we have everything ready just in case we need to do that. It's very much a roller coaster road for the family. It's sort of a couple of steps forward, 1 step back, another couple of steps forward. And every time it's a step back, it's like a sort of punch in the face for the family. All right, I'm just going to have a suck down in here just to get stuff out from the back of your throat, OK?
It's a critical moment for Shaun and his parents.
I just feel sick, to be honest with you. You know, you wait for this day to come, and then when it comes, it just...
All right, Shaun, sorry. We're down to the last bit now. This is going to be a lot more comfortable in a minute, I assure you.
OK, Shaun.
OK, Shaun. 1, 2, 3. Good boy, well done.
All right, Shaun.
OK, Shaun.
All right, good lad.
OK.
Good lad, Shaun.
Well done. Good boy.
For the first time in 7 days, Shaun is breathing on his own.
Well done.
Thanks.
All right.
It's done now. He's off the machine, and that shows that he's moving in the right direction. Yeah, so that's good.
He's made significant progress over the last couple of days, but he still faces a number of issues. He's undoubtedly, at the moment, got damage to his brain, but what people worry about is what will be the brain damage at the end of the day. So where will we end up? How will he be as a person? What will he be able to do? And the answer to that at the moment is we just don't know.
Doctors must wait until Shaun's fully awake before they can assess what kind of damage he's sustained to his brain. If you thought tongue-tied was just a turn of phrase, then think again. Tongue-tie is a fairly common but often overlooked condition, and it can vary in severity. 4-year-old Saffron's having problems with her tongue, and it's affecting her speech. She's at the hospital today with her mum and dad for an operation to put it right.
I can't take my tongue out properly.
If she tries to stick her tongue out, it'll come to about here, but it's stuck right down. It's literally attached right at the very end. She'll say boff instead of frog. And instead of flamingo, she'll say babingo.
My doctor is going to make my tongue better.
Saffron's being operated on today by Claire Stevens. She's been treating children with a wide range of oral problems for the last 10 years.
The condition is known as ankylosing, but it's more commonly known as tongue tie, which means that her tongue is tethered to the floor of her mouth, so she's got very limited movement. But there's a range of severity, and Saffron is at the more severe end of the scale. All right, Princess, how are you? Are you okay? Now, can you remember what we're going to do today when you're fast asleep? We're going to make your tongue better. Yeah. So, what I want you to do is to open really... Oh, you've done it already! You've done this before, haven't you? OK, so you can see with Saffron's tongue, it's tethered quite severely from the tip of the tongue all the way down to the bottom. So what we'll be doing is releasing this little tiny piece of tissue all the way hidden underneath her tongue at the minute, so that this bit can stick right out again. And we'll know straight away if it's worked, because when you wake up, you'll be able to stick your tongue out. Yeah?
Morning, Saffron Kershaw.
Because Saffron is so young, she'll need a general anaesthetic, but fortunately, she has a little help from a friend.
Who is that? Shall we tell Tinkerbell she's going to have a sleep? Yeah.
The time has come for Saffron and Tinkerbell to go to theatre.
We know it's just such a small operation and it's literally going to be 10 minutes, but it's still scary, you know.
Do you want to give Mum a big hug? Whoa, fantastic.
The anaesthetic is being fed directly into a vein in Saffron's hand.
OK, let's swap you down.
Okay,
There we go.
take her down.
Sorry.
Back down. That's the way. Well done.
There we go.
You did a fabulous job there, well done.
Well done, Mum.
Yeah, do you want to leave Tinkerbell with us so she can have somebody to wake up with? Yeah.
Okay, Mum, I'll need you back to the ward. You okay? Yeah.
Now that Saffron's asleep, the operation can begin.
That's great. So the first thing is I've just released the tip of the tongue, so already we're starting to get a little bit more movement. And then you can see perhaps a little easier now the little tether that she's got. That might even be enough. Job done.
The operation's over in a matter of minutes, and back on the ward, Saffron's awake and eager to show off some new tricks.
Wow!
Can you say frog now?
Frog.
I bet you can't say flamingo. That's an ad.
Go.
Wow. I think it's going to really help her. I think it'll really change her life.
It's got some mischief now, for sure, with Raspberry and everybody.
Vanessa Malone's 15-year-old brother Shaun has been in the hospital for 6 weeks now.
Hi, I'm here to see Shaun Malone.
A very rare complication from sinusitis escalated into a brain infection which left him unconscious. His devoted family have been by his side day and night. But now he's finally awake, and not only that, he's talking.
I keep an eye on anyone when they're feeding me to make sure they're not robbing it.
I was worried that he wouldn't be Shaun anymore. I think that was my main concern, that he would not be Shaun anymore, but he is.
Shaun's come a long way from his days in intensive care.
He was saying to me the other day that he found it really frustrating when he was awake and he was conscious but he couldn't talk.
I can remember my mum and dad being here and my uncle Eddie. I really wanted to talk. I'm a talkative person.
OK then, so our next patient is Shaun Malone.
The doctor now in charge of Shaun's care is neurologist Grace VASSALLO. She leads a large multidisciplinary team that specialises in treating children with brain injuries.
The way I describe it is that there is a big part of the brain which consists of two hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. His left hemisphere is largely intact, and the left hemisphere is the one that predominantly is involved with speech and language and memory and emotions. Well, the right side of the brain is injured substantially.
The damage to the right side of his brain means Shaun can't move his left arm and leg.
It's frustrating that my left side doesn't work.
Keep saying this side doesn't work, but as we're chatting, we're getting through to him that it's a long haul and he will get repaired, like, you know, and it's just how far we get and how far we go with it, and it's on.
Yeah. I had a chat with him today and I told him if you are not starting to feel God, what's happened to me, then it would mean your cognition has been really impaired, which it hasn't.
Right, chin in.
His eyes filled up with tears, I could see that. But on the other hand, there is a positive side to that. He's retained a lot of awareness, a lot of realization, a lot of cognition, that again will serve him to recover.
Good morning.
Hello.
Every day, the team's physiotherapists help Shaun relearn how to move the left side of his body.
I look forward to physio because I know it's helping me to get up and be walking and that again. I am pretty used to pushing my body and I'm not a quitter. I don't give up easy.
Steady, steady. Sit up. Good man, Shaun.
This week, they're hoping to get him sitting up independently.
Head's better there as well today. You got your head, I'm taking some support away for the moment.
Wow, Shaun.
That's really good. That's really
You're
good.
practically on your own there.
How are you feeling there?
All right, thanks.
Good.
The team's ultimate goal is to get Shaun walking again.
Thanks, guys.
That's all right. Our pleasure.
But the next major milestone is to get him mobile enough to make his first visit home. It's another busy afternoon in A&E, and in cubicles 1 and 3, two school friends have had a bit of a knock.
I was playing football and we did a trick and we both crashed into each other.
Mohammed and Shaun, both aged 13, were trying to imitate football legend Diego Maradona.
It's where you go over the ball, like backwards whilst you're running.
It tickles? A&E nurse Claire Slattery sees up to 10 football injuries a day.
Get all the blood off.
Mohammed's lucky. He's got a cut that's small enough to glue.
Gluing's obviously a lot kinder than having to stitch. Is that okay, Mohammed?
Yep.
It's the simplest way to do it, really, and the less painful way. That's it, all done. All right?
I'm thankful to be getting off really slightly.
No such luck for poor Shaun. He's going to need a local anaesthetic and stitches, a job for A&E doctor Ian Scott.
You okay? You sure?
I'm a bit scared.
A bit scared, that's okay. So it's just a little bit of pressure there.
Alright.
Okay, and then we're just gonna pop this in, okay, so you'll feel a little bit of a sharp scratch. And you might feel a bit of a stinging now.
Ah!
Very brave, good lad.
It's not funny, Dad. It's not. Yeah, it really hurts.
All right.
Oh, why?
Just gonna pop this over here.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Can't feel anything.
Yeah?
No.
With the area nice and numb, the stitches go in without too much discomfort.
Oh, sugar.
Another couple of stitches. All done.
And with the football friends reunited, it's time to compare notes.
How was yours? It was really bad. The needle was killing me.
They've decided to give the football tricks a rest. For a couple of weeks at least. Shaun Malone's been in hospital for 11 weeks now and is making fantastic progress.
I'm pleased with the progress I'm making. I stood on my own for 1.5 minutes the other day. The thing I am wanting to do but can't do is walk at the minute. But I am very determined to get moving around again.
Right, sweetheart, are we ready?
It will take many months in hospital before the swelling in his brain goes down and before he can walk again.
This is the really exciting bit now.
But Shaun is finally ready for his first visit home.
I have been constantly surprised and amazed by the recovery capability of children, and I would expect Shaun to follow.
I've been looking forward to today for like 1.5 weeks now, innit?
Go for it, son. Home at last. Home.
However, it depends a lot on the family. In Shaun's case, the positivity and the love and attention and nurturing that they have shown will benefit him a lot.
I could just see my room there.
Sit out there now, son.
Occupational therapist Rachel Downey wants to make sure Shaun can move around the house
That works perfectly.
and get the things he wants.
I want everything good on the low shelves.
Do you want to get on the sofa with the family, or do you want to sit in your dad's chair?
Taking my chair, Shaun. What's going on?
He's going to have to put up with it either way. Ready, steady, stand.
Go on, big push. Excellent, go on. Brilliant, well done. You can put your bottom down. Brilliant, well done. How's that?
Feels weird kicking back. He's going to cry. Find your new spot.
I can't put it into words. It's lovely. You know, after 11 weeks in the hospital, I mean, I know we're only home for the day, but this means that the lengths will get longer that he's allowed home till eventually we work up to an overnight visit. And then after that, it'll be home for good.
Yeah, feel all right?
Yes, big dog.
Yes.
I've got my son back. He's the same Shaun, and whatever problems come in the future, we'll deal with them.
Shaun will stay in hospital for at least another 3 months, but with his visit a success, he'll also be able to enjoy weekends at home with his family.
Me, I'm the taller one.
Second, you are growing.
Just your bum sticking up, that, Shaun.